Kirby. I'll wait till I hear the, there we go. All right, welcome everyone as we welcome Coach Bishop to LSU. As you can see, Coach Bishop, if you just hopped on, he is on the other side of the world getting ready for the Olympics right now, which is obviously very exciting. And I know we have a lot of people excited about him and getting started here at LSU. So as Kirby said, ideally, I do minimal talking today, and I just kind of moderate and let y'all ask questions. However, I am prepared. I got a list of questions over here to the side that I'll go to. So if everyone's would prefer me to ask the questions, I can. If you'd like to ask the questions, just drop in, like Kirby said, in the chat, and we'll call on you, and Kirby can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, and we'll ask away. Coach Bishop, again, welcome to LSU. We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
I would say just kind of, you do your opening statement deal, your introduction, tell everyone what they need to know about you in a succinct manner, I guess.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here this evening or this afternoon and my morning. It's great to have everybody. It's great to be here. For me, this has just been an amazing opportunity. I'm honored. I'm excited. I've been walking around the pool deck here at the Olympic Games, and everybody keeps coming up and talking about LSU, from athletes to coaches, and we're excited. I'm excited. I ran into Brooks yesterday for the first time. What a great young man. I mean, it's great to be here. And as he was saying, it's interesting. He has even had his first event here at the Olympics. He's like, I can't wait to get back to LSU to start training and getting ready to go. So it's an exciting time. And I know Coach Schaefer's got 2 divers here. Everybody keeps asking me, where's Doug? Where's Doug? I'm like, I know, he should be, wish he was here. And I got to say, Doug, actually, I was talking to a coach from Texas A&M. You make those guys nervous having 2 athletes here at the Olympic Games. So it's great. I can't wait to get my feet on the ground in Baton Rouge and get going for Tiger Swimming. We're working on some recruiting while we're out here, and just continuing to build the program in any way we can. But I can't wait to be in Baton Rouge.
Awesome. Again, if you have any questions, just type the word question in the chat if you would, and I can call on you. We can try to keep this thing moving. Coach, I'll start at the very beginning. You come in and your first priorities in terms of program building. Where do you start at LSU?
You know, as coaches, our job is to get people to do things that are really hard. And we have to get them to believe in their abilities and believe in the things that are out there. We want to continue to build our culture. We want to get the athletes, the student athletes, to believe in the things that are possible, the things that they're capable of. We want to help them to dream big. We want to challenge for an SEC title. We want to challenge for some real high performances at the NC2A level. And right now, with Brooks having done what he's done, being here at the Olympic Games, myself being here at the Olympic Games, 2 divers being here at the Olympic Games, we have that spark, we have that belief, and we're going to continue to nurture that. We want to take LSU swimming to a high level. And our goal is to be building culture, setting the foundation and saying to people, these are the things that we can achieve. Along those lines, we have to realize that it's hard work and accountability to get there. We can dream about things, but to put them into realities, we know that we're going to have a lot of work to do, and we're just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Big thing is going to be for us is setting that tone, setting that culture, setting that belief that Tiger Swimming can do the things that we want. We have in the past won an SEC title. We can challenge for that, and we want to do it again. It's been a while, but we're going to get back to it.
Coach, you talked a lot there about culture, and when we spoke on the phone the other day, you talked a lot about culture. How would you define championship culture? What are the qualities that make up a championship culture?
Everyone wants to be a champion, but not everyone is willing to pay the price on a daily basis. And that's the thing that we're going to have to get everybody's mindset around, is that we can talk about being a champion. We can want to be a champion, but champions pay a price. Champions have a belief, not only in what they can do and what they want to do, but what they expect from those around them. The coaching staff is going to show up every day with that belief and with that work ethic. And I think if we can get our student athletes and we will get them to do that, they're here, they're at LSU, they're part of a great program. We have a championship mindset within our department, and we want that to just really continue to foster and develop within the swimming and diving programs. Coach Schaefer's got 2 athletes here. We've got one athlete here. We've got that beginning. So for culture, we want to reinforce to our athletes, this is the path. And our job is to help them along that path, keep them accountable along that path, and realize that hard work, both in the classroom, in the pool, and accountability toward team, towards each other, that's what's going to get us there.
You talked about recruiting and already starting that process over there, but you had to be recruited to come to LSU when the job came open, and you had to, we're out looking up for a new coach, and LSU comes to you and talks to you about the job. What appealed to you about this job? Why was this the right move for you?
Wow. SEC swimming. I mean, we are on the big stage. I mean, you look at what our football program has done, winning a national championship. You look at where the program can be and all the opportunity that's here. We can choose to see limitations in anywhere. We could say that, LSU swimming currently isn't at this level, but the opportunity for me to look at a program that has promise, that has an athletic department backing, that's talking about, we want to see you help this team to achieve. What a great opportunity. How could I not say yes? I came in, I still remember driving onto campus and looking around and seeing the lakes and the oak trees and seeing there was a palpable energy about the campus. And this is in the summer. This isn't even with the student athletes there. And you can feel when you walk into the buildings, the energy and the excitement about where LSU wants to be. And I was sold. And for me, when I walked around, I'm like, just thinking about how can I take in all of the greatness of what's around us. I still remember when John Daniel asked me to come down to visit, and I said, if I'm coming down to visit, there's some things I want to see. I'm excited about the campus and the program. So I got to see Mike the Tiger. And there's so much energy there. There's so much opportunity. And to compete on the big stage, we're going to be competing with teams like Georgia. We're going to be competing against teams that have, win SEC titles, teams that are, multiple national championships. And to go toe to toe with some programs like that for a coach, let's bring it on. Let's get our athletes fired up. I know Doug has that energy. He wants to do it. And I want to partner with him and the other coaches and get in and mix it up and help bring our athletes in there. Brooks, obviously, he had that energy. He's like, okay, let's go. I want to get back and start mixing it up. So LSU is an awesome place, and I love the energy, beautiful campus, and there's so much promise there. We want to live up to it all.
Again, as Kirby just said in the chat, if you have any questions, just pop in the chat and let us know, and we'll get to you. Coach, let's rewind a little bit. Tell us a little biographical information. Tell us where you're from, how you got into the sport, just sort of your journey from where you started to how you got to LSU.
Sure. I grew up obviously as a swimmer. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, as a swimmer, and I love the sport. I was fortunate that I was part of a program. I was team captain. We won our first conference championship. No, we weren't at the highest level. We were a mid-major program, University of Massachusetts. We did well. We had some people going to NC2As, but I got to be the captain on the first championship team. And to be part of that pursuit of building and chasing a championship as a young athlete, that's always stuck with me. And from there, I went into coaching, and it's been just such an exciting journey along the way. I've gotten to go to the Olympic Games, the World Championship. I've gotten to compete for titles, and in so doing, I remember the process of building and working towards something. Back when I started at Michigan, we were eighth. We were just coming off the season where we were 8th in the Big Ten and somewhere around 40th in the country. And we had a dream. We wanted to win a Big Ten championship. We wanted to compete at the highest levels in the NC2A. And hard work, belief, talking about we weren't selling an easy road. We knew that that's where we wanted to be. And for me, I look at the parallel from where we want to be. Now, I feel like LSU is already starting a few steps ahead of that. So the ball's already rolling. And I look at what Brooks has done. Again, I look at what Ann's done. I look at where Juan is. And for me, the journey, this is the next step to try and take this program to the heights of the SEC and to the heights of the NC2A. But my journey has been a little bit longer one. It's been exciting. And again, I never thought I'd get to do some of the things that I'm doing. I'm here at the Olympic Games. I remember I talked to Brooks yesterday, and I was like, dude, you're at the Olympics. I mean, this is what every 8, 9, and 10-year-old dreams of. And he had this big smile on his face. He's like, I know. But that's, my journey's been a little longer. It's been through some great events and great opportunities. And I'm excited about this chapter.
Coach, what is your history with the Hong Kong team and previous Olympics and sort of getting that experience? Because it's certainly unique, and I got to imagine, as you said, a dream come true.
Yeah, sometimes you don't realize where you are. There's some moments. My first Olympics was 1996, I was really young. I was really young as a coach at the 96 games. And I remember being there and just like, hey, this is really cool swimming, taking it all in. I don't think the magnitude of it really hit me at that point in time, but it was a great event. And that was the first Olympic Games I went to. My history with the Hong Kong team is I started coaching several athletes that were part of Siobhan Haughey, namely one of them. I started coaching them about 6 years ago when they came to swim for me as a college athlete. And during that time, Siobhan's continued to improve and get better. She went to her first Olympic Games not long after going to Michigan. And I remember watching her as a young athlete, and she walked out. I didn't go to that Olympic Games in Rio. And she swam preliminaries, qualified for semifinals. I remember watching her walk through the doors to go up to semifinals, and she was just terrified. And she didn't swim very well. She ended up 12th and didn't advance to finals. I mean, still 12th at the Olympics isn't too bad. But I remember saying that we talked about it afterwards, that I wanted to be there to help her, if we continued to progress at the next Olympics. And so as she continued to get better, our journey was we moved up in the world rankings. She got 4th at the World Championship, and she's currently been ranked number 1 in the world, short course meters in the 200 free, 4th in the world in the long course meter, 200 free. And the Hong Kong team invited me to come to Hong Kong to work with her, and that's what we've been hoping. And then they offered to get me a credential for the Olympic Games. I want to be there now I'm currently coaching a good number, probably half of the Hong Kong team. They've got 9 athletes here. I've got 3 of them under my direct purview that I've been writing training for. I've got one guy who went 21.9 in the 50, which was a great swim, qualified individually for the Olympics, one relay only, and then Siobhan, who's actually going to be competing for a medal. She's right up there. So they were great in terms of bringing me on. I went to Hong Kong and did a 4-week training camp with them. And now they've brought me along here to the Olympics. But I want to be repping the LSU. It's LSU gear at the games, and they've been great saying, go ahead, do a little recruiting while here.
Great. I see Justin has a question in the chat. So Justin, if you can unmute yourself, you can fire away for Coach Bishop.
All right, thanks so much. Hey, Coach Bishop, Justin Cernsey with NBC Next Star out of Des Moines, Iowa, here in Tokyo. I had a question for you just about, choosing LSU. Obviously, you built a great program there in Michigan. With your experience, just how much of a difference does it make now that, LSU, with Brooks Curry, the first athlete to make USA swimming for the Olympics, what is the change there in recruiting that you have seen and that could happen here at LSU, where people will see it not just as Brooks Curry is a different athlete than LSU may have had, and this isn't luck, this is the changing of a tide here for the Tigers and being able to maybe start a powerhouse in swimming there in Baton Rouge?
So what I've been doing is, coaches in sport have reputations, and obviously, Brooks having done what he's done, Doug having done what he's done with Juan and with Ann, getting them here. I'm here. I've got Siobhan Haughey for Hong Kong, who's seated really well. We're trying to figure out how we get to be. It still boggles my mind. We're competing for the Olympic gold medal. We're not competing for a medal. We want to challenge for the Olympic gold. That's our conversation. In 2019, I was with Siobhan at the World Championship when she got 4th, but I was also coaching another athlete, Maggie McNeil, who won the World Championship, and then last year broke the NC2A record, won 2 events at NC2As. So for me, while I'm recruiting here, I'm walking around. We as coaches, we all know our contemporaries. I know the coaches from different countries. We all know the coaches within the NC2A. And what I'm saying to athletes and what I'm saying to people here is that, look, I'm still me. I'm still the guy that's helped develop these athletes. Now I'm taking it on to LSU, and LSU has talked about providing us with great resources. We've hired a staff We've got a great group of coaches that are going to be supporting everything that we do in place. And what we want to do is we want to move this program forward. We're excited. We're fired up. I had USA Swimming, one of the representatives from USA Swimming come up to me yesterday and talk about, hey, what can we do to help you? We know what you've done previously with the swimmers. We see you have under my purview, I've got the Hong Kong athletes here, but I also have other athletes like Maggie, who's with Canada, Mariella Venter, who's with South Africa, Ian Ho, who I've been working with, who was a former Great Virginia Tech athlete, is now swimming with Hong Kong. So what USA Swimming coaches around the world that I'm talking to, they're seeing that I'm the same person. I've come to LSU. I want to build at LSU like we did at Michigan. And they're receptive. They're saying they want to help send athletes here. And they want to send them to our program, to our beliefs, to our system. And they're great. So I'm going to carry on those conversations. Almost signed one while I was in Hong Kong. Still waiting on it. Hoping she's going to commit this week.
Great. Thanks for the question. I saw another question in the chat. This one's from Colleen. I'll read it here. Colleen asks, what facilities does LSU need for the swimming program? Did the locker rooms with showers ever get completed? I would rather donate to a specific need of the swim team so TAF doesn't reroute my donation to football or some other program. Coach, we talked a little bit about this on the phone the other day, but we come in and you're looking around and you're looking at the facilities. What and your imagination starts running wild and you start envisioning things. What did you see as things that could help your team get better?
You know, that's a great question. And Colleen, thank you for that. We're always open for donations. That would be awesome. We would love that. We want the help. You know, I walked in. I look. It's a great tank. The pool itself is great. It's a great facility. There are always needs. I know that the locker rooms people have been talking about. Interestingly, when I talked to Brooks yesterday, one of the things that I mentioned to him that I see, you know, is a great opportunity for us is we need a team space. We need a team area, a team room. Most programs have team rooms where they can sit down, they can review video, they can have team meetings. When we talk about building culture, part of building culture is having conversations with team, having everybody sit around and meet and discuss. These are the things that we want to do. This is how we want to get there. This is what we all have to do as a group to hold each other accountable. These are our values. These are our beliefs, and we have to reinforce that. We don't have a team meeting room at the pool, at the facility, and I think that's a great opportunity. Some space where we can share, where we're swimming, diving, where we can review video, where we can plan as a team. When we have a competition at the natatorium, we need to go into an area and talk about, okay, team, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come out. We want to hit the medley relay hard. We know we're going to be strong in these events. Look, we know we have opportunities in these events. So I think a team meeting space would be something that would be great. We also know that with respect to training our athletes, power equipment, and that's one of the biggest things that we've really worked on in swimming over the last few years is you see that athletes are getting bigger and stronger in the pool. So we have to identify our needs with power equipment. But I think the team meeting space is probably one. I know the locker rooms have been talked about, but if we can build a team meeting space, I think that would something that would benefit swimming, diving, culture, the whole program.
Coach, you mentioned Brooks, and I have two parts to that question.
Sure.
One, from what you've seen from him, what do you think makes him special and helped him get to the level that he's at? And the second part would be just the impact that an athlete like that on that stage, and you mentioned the diving program. We have 2 divers there as well, but to have your athletes representing at that level, what kind of boost can that be to the program? So 2 parts to that question.
Well, when I talked to Brooks, I've only met him once, and I got to talk to him in the short term. Again, we always have preconceived notions of what we're expecting in somebody, because I've been hearing all about him. I've been hearing great things from Steve Miller, his coach, his current coach. I heard things from Dave Durden, the U.S. Olympic coach, from one of the representatives of USA Swimming that's in charge of sports science. Everybody speaks so highly of him. He's coming out of his shell. He's really growing into himself. He's a huge talent with a lot of upside. He's still relatively young in the sport when you look at the age of some of the men on the national team. So I was really taken by his focus and by his energy and his excitement. he was saying he can't wait to get back. He can't wait to get back to Baton Rouge to continue it. Here he is at the pinnacle, at the height of everything, and he's loving it. You could see in his face that he's taking it all in and he's enjoying it. But his focus, USA Swimming sees that too. That's why they want to help us. They want to come on board. And it's interesting when they offer up the resources to help someone like Brooks, what they're also saying is that we believe in you as a program. So they want to come in not only just to help Brooks, but they know that we're going to be able to do some special things, and they want to support us in that regard as well. So that was really great to hear. That was really nice reinforcement that we have that support from USA Swimming. I look at Brooks. He's a young man that still has so much growth in the sport. I talked to Steve, and Steve Miller, his current coach, talked about the journey that Brooks is on. He's just been coming up in leaps and bounds. So what struck me the most, I loved his energy. I loved his excitement. I loved his passion. He seems like he's really enjoying it. I had to compliment him on his shorts, and he loved his shorts. He just loves what he's doing, and that's an infectious energy, and he's going to bring that back to the team. And the second part of your question, when you talk about where we are overall with the program, as I mentioned earlier, I was talking to the director of ops for Texas A&M, who's the team manager for Team USA, and we got talking about swimming and diving. And he said that if we go to this mid-season invitational, one of the things that we're potentially looking at is possibly going to Texas A&M for mid-season invitational. He said diving's not there. There'll be another invite. And we got off on the topic talking about LSU diving. And it definitely makes him nervous. Our diving program makes people nervous. Coach Schaefer has an awesome reputation. You're looking at, we have both a male and female Olympian here. We're balanced and we're incredibly strong on both sides. If you look at it, we've got one on 3 meter. I believe Ann's on 10 meter. Coach, I hope I got that right. And so we can hit springboard and we can hit tower. We've got a swimmer. The only other thing I could have asked for is could we have gotten a female swimmer here too? I mean, that would have been awesome. We could have a female, a male swimmer, a female and a male diver. We're close. We're really close. I mean, we're going to take the excitement that we have and we're going to keep moving it forward. I can't wait.
Coach, you mentioned the jorts. I was going to ask you, do you see that becoming like part of the team uniform, like pre-match, bring out the jorts, kind of building that team chemistry?
That's a great question. I'm going to have to wait on that one a little bit. I don't, maybe for the athletes, I don't, Coach Schaefer might be able to rock that. I don't know if I can make that one work, but I think, that anything that we can do to bring people together, to get people to buy into an idea and a concept, if that's what it's going to take to win an SEC championship, I'm on board with it. If that's what it's going to take to get everybody galvanized behind the idea that we have to work hard, I'll wear them all the time. But whatever it's going to take, we're gonna find those things to get everybody bought into one idea that we want to be a championship team, and that our hard work is going to get us there. Our belief in each other, those are the things. And hey, as long as they're the right color, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, he handmade those. For those who don't know, if you haven't seen them, they're on Twitter and everywhere. Handmade them himself. He's pretty good swimmer and pretty talented artist too. If you have any questions, hop in the chat. Feel free to either type out your question there or ask it there. Coach, I'll ask you this: what's the next few weeks look like for you? I know you're pretty focused in on your job there, but you've also got a job back here that I know you're working on and recruiting while you're there and juggling those two things. So what do the next few weeks look like for you there, both at the Olympics and then as you get back to Baton Rouge eventually?
It's the next few weeks I'm looking at right now in the short term. The Olympics kick off for us tonight with opening ceremony. Today's the 23rd here, so we're gonna start the whole thing going tonight with opening ceremonies. The meet begins tomorrow, the 24th, with preliminaries of the 4x100 free relay for men, and then the following day the finals. So we're into it. We're in the thick of a swim meet, and a really great swim meet. So making sure that all of our people here are prepared from the swimming, the diving aspect. I make sure I don't work with the divers. I stay out of that area. But from the swimming aspect, we've got people that are competing for medals. So first and foremost, right now we're really focused on that. When I'm away from the pool, I'm back here on the computer, been communicating with our coaches back home, they're out at meets, they're recruiting, they're sending out emails. Kayla Kumbier sent me a video. I mean, she's collecting videos right now. John Sokovich they're working on transitioning and getting to Baton Rouge. The train never stops. I told them that when they came on board that we're all hopping on a moving train, and we want to accelerate this train. So working on our meet schedule, trying to finalize that, get some great competition in. We want to have that done. Continuing to talk to recruits. We want to continue to build and go out after people. I'm getting emails from our athletes about, hey, what about this? What about that? Some things that they have that they want to do, trying to get back to them. We want to continue to build. And right now, not enough hours of the day. But in the next term, what I'm going to be doing after the meet, on the 31st, I'm going to be flying back to Michigan. I'm going to be getting there, packing up, and getting my family down to Baton Rouge. We're excited. My family's excited. We're looking forward to getting on the ground and continuing to keep it rolling.
Colleen had another question in the chat asking if there was a chance of a swim team alumni reunion in the next 12 months, praying, of course, that COVID pandemic is over for most people, being able to get back on campus and see our friends and support the program. Obviously, COVID, the last 18 months have been unpredictable, but yeah, I'm sure a lot of you listening and a lot of you not listening would love to get together and support the team. And Coach, how much have you felt of that, of the support of the LSU community? I know you've been distant and away and afar, but one of my favorite things, actually, one of my favorite swimming stories is we worked on a video, and I think it was an all sports video, but it came from the swimming and diving program. And one of the athletes talked about LSU being the 3 letters known worldwide, which is a phrase that I just loved and stuck in my head. So how much have you felt that, even, being over there, but since the hire and just the support of both the alumni of this program, but the fans across the world?
It's funny you should say that. I get emails from people, and it's great to know that we have that support. It's great. I love that about LSU. I was at the pool deck yesterday, and I didn't wear the purple one. I wanted to wait and wear my purple shirt today. And a bunch of the coaches I ran into, I was wearing an LSU shirt and it wasn't purple. They're like, "Where's your purple?" I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna have that on later in the meet." So there's a lot of support, and we've had support from the alumni. I've received some emails from alumni saying, "What can we do to help?" And people are behind us. People are behind the program. And to Colleen's question, getting the alumni back on campus, people have had such great experiences. They had such great experiences in the swimming program. They had great experiences while they were there as a student athlete on campus, and they want to come back and they love the place, and they want to be there, and they want to feel that energy, and they want to share all the great times that they had with the next generation of people coming up and going through. And I would love that. I would love to have them come back and allow our generation that we have in the pool to look and see the love and the passion that's continued on, that they currently have now, that our athletes have now, and to see these people that have come before them and say, wow, these people still love LSU and LSU swimming, and realize that that's them down the road. And so I would love to get the alumni back on campus. I would love to have them involved. But yeah, it's been great. I think it's great when I get the emails. I feel the support. It's interesting, as you know, I'm trying to move my family, and anytime you transition to moving your family, people have been great reaching out. How can we help? And it seems everywhere I turn, I'm bumping into someone who's an alum.
Coach, we'll wrap up with this. Tell us about your family.
My family, my oldest is serving in the Air Force. He's doing great, and he's moving up in rank. He made the decision that he was in school. He was in college on an academic scholarship, and the whole COVID thing, he just didn't want to sit in front of the computer and continue to try and learn like that. Really interesting kid, really smart, very insightful. And he said, I want to try something else. I want to do something else. And so he said, he enlisted. He's got a big heart and wanted to serve. He wanted to serve his country. And kind of scary as parents, your son's off serving. And he realized that he'll have this GI Bill. He can always go back to school. But right now, as he said, he's serving his country. He's in the Air Force. He's doing great. My middle son will start. He'll be a freshman in college in September at the University of Detroit Mercy. So he coined a great one. He said, usually you graduate from high school and you go off to college. He said, I'm graduating from high school. My parents are going off to college. And so he'll be playing lacrosse next year. And then our youngest son, Killian, will be a senior in high school, and he's going to be going to the ULab school. And I don't know if I can say this, but I'm hoping he's a swimmer. We're hoping to recruit him, and we're trying. So I hope there are no violations there, but hoping to have a great Tiger swimmer. Coach Lyle has been doing a great job, and we'd love to have a Tiger swimmer in the family. And my wife, she's excited. Boy, I can't imagine how busy she is. She's trying to organize and sell a house and help me with all the paperwork that we have to do in getting started. But she's incredible. She's doing everything. So
that's great. Well, speaking of wanting to avoid, I'm sorry, I got a little feedback there. Is it someone else asking a question, or is that just my phone? Guess that was just my phone.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of recruiting violations and wanting to avoid them, I don't know how far out in the future you're recruiting, but I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that are very, very advanced swimmers. They swim better than me right now, so I figure they're pretty decent swimmers at least. So, if you're recruiting that far ahead, I don't know, class of 2032 or whatever, then I've got an inside track for you.
Never too early. Oh, I think we froze up. I hope it's not me.
I can still hear you, Coach.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we're still going or if we have any. I figured being all the way over here in Tokyo, I'd be the one that would freeze up.
Hey, Coach, it's John Daniel just jumping in here to tag in for Cody. I think we were kind of wrapping up. We had it slated for about 30 minutes, but I just wanted to sum it up and first of all, reiterate how excited we are that you're here, and we're excited to see you and our Tigers and your squad out there in Tokyo represent the purple and gold, and we're excited to have you as soon as you can get here. So we're looking forward to it, and I really appreciate everybody joining. And feel free to reach out to Coach and to myself and Doug. And we're looking forward to getting together, and stay tuned for some of that. But otherwise, we'll get right into it with this new season. So I really appreciate it, and thank everybody for joining. And go Tigers!
Go Tigers! Thanks, John.
Go Tigers.